So in this video, I want to show some workouts and some training methods that are very, very basic. These are tailored more to people that want to build like real skills. So whether you want to use this for self-defense or you want to get in the ring or get in the cage, this is like full contact, combat-based training. I'm not gonna lie, this stuff is very basic and to some it's very boring, and that causes people to turn their nose up to this kind of stuff. But for me personally, I feel like I benefit massively from this, and I feel like it's very slept on and overlooked because of how slow paced and basic it is. It's very simple. But if you can have the patience to put in a lot of hours with these techniques, they pay off a lot more than you would expect. These are some of the things I spend a lot of time doing nowadays, and I kind of just had this epiphany recently that it's like the most valuable stuff. So I stopped welding on the bag all day and started doing a lot more of this. So up first, we got literally working on your stance. This is technically footwork because you're stepping, but this really strengthens your stance. I think that fighters think that when you learn a stance, like your boxing coach or your kickboxing coach or whoever tells you, hey, this is your stance, feet this wide apart, blah, 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 you kind of think you got it locked in, but really it should be trained just like everything else, just like a jab. You'll make your jab better by perfecting the technique and throwing lots of jabs. Well, you need to spend time in your stance. So here I'm just moving forward, backward, side to side, and making sure that I open first and close second, meaning I step and then drag. That way my feet do not end up crossed. If my feet end up together, I'm easily kicked off balance, swept from my legs, all kinds of stuff. Now here I'm just in a fighting stance, bouncing on the balls of my feet. I'm not trying to move and step. I'm just bouncing in place. You can call it idling. This is really beneficial because if you want to have a mobile style, which you should, it's going to cost a lot of stamina. It's going to be really tiring, and you need to adjust your body to that and make your body adapt. And this will condition your calves as well. This will make you just a lot. It's hard to really explain, but this will make you better all around. Like, this is very beneficial. It looks like nothing, but it's not. Next, I'm throwing my Muay Thai low kicks. So I'm just making sure I step with my left foot, or you could say your lead foot if you're a southpaw. Step with the lead foot toward the direction I'm kicking. So I'm throwing a right kick, I'm stepping toward my left with that lead foot. And then as I make that step, I then lift the right foot up, and so lift the right knee up off the ground. That's called chambering, and then I extend. So step, chamber, extend. So the lead foot steps, the rear foot chambers by the knee coming up, and then you extend on the low kick, essentially. Next, I'm throwing my traditional round kicks. So these are made for like for body or head kicks. These are like traditional martial art round kicks. They're kind of awkward. Took me some time to get balance for this, but I'm basically walking back and forth, extending on these round kicks. This next one is a little footwork drill. You can look it up. It's called the skip, step, pivot. It was invented basically by Dominic Cruz, or at least popularized by him. But I'm gonna let you look that up because I'm not advanced enough to even try to break that down for somebody. This is a traditional martial arts exercise where you chamber while you're balancing up against the wall. So you chamber, for example, if it's a round kick, you lift your knee up, then you get your balance up against the wall and you extend from there and you turn the hips. I'm working a lot of my traditional kicks right now because I'm going to Thailand soon. So when I'm in Thailand, my goal is to be active and compete quite a bit and get a lot of fights in. So when I'm fighting these guys with a Muay Thai style, it'll be pretty useful for me to have traditional kicks in my arsenal just because they're not really seen out there. Here I'm doing a little bit of shadow boxing. First I sharpen up my main punches, which for me is jab, cross, lead hook, liver punch. Those are my 4 main punches. Then I put together my favorite 2-punch combinations with a defensive move, creating an angle in between each combo. That's why I recommend working combos. The important thing to take away and be mindful of here is you want defense before and after each combo. So don't just stand in front of your opponent and throw the combo. So for all of those little basic things I showed, like the footwork and the stepping and all that, I would recommend setting rounds for like a couple minutes each. Obviously short rest because this isn't too strenuous, but just make sure that you're focused. Like the thing that really matters the most with this kind of training is presence mentally and making every rep as perfect as you can and really visualizing. I heard someone once say that shadow boxing, if you're not visualizing, is useless. But if you do visualize, it's probably the best thing you could do. And I'm a big believer in that myself now. And one last thing, I'll be honest, from my experience, a lot of this stuff that looks boring and looks like you're not accomplishing anything is the most effective training. I don't know why it is that way, but it just is. So some of this stuff, it might look like not a good use of your time, but I promise it is. It is way more than throwing, just stuff that you think is cool, like spinning stuff and flying knees on the bag all day. I totally understand it's fun, but this is the stuff that'll really make you good, especially if you want to be a fighter.